great. This
I know,
is
we
so
feel
nice.
you. We feel you. We love it.
We
Yeah,
have
this is awesome.
you too.
Well,
I might cry.
we tend to do that, as you know, on this show. So it's very possible we're all going to do it. And I have to say that, well, before I get into all that, because I'll lose track and we'll be way off course. For those of you who have never joined before, if you want to see who's primarily speaking, switch your computer into speaker view. If you like to see kind of the Brady Bunch tiles of everybody on screen at once, then just keep it in gallery view. And what we're going to do is I'm going to mute everybody. Then I'm going to unmute Andrew and Dennis. And then we're going to start our Q&A. It's going to go for about 10, 15 minutes or so. And then we'll open it up for questions from you guys. I have a lot of questions, so we can fill up time if we need to, or we can just keep drinking. I
love that.
I'm going to mute everybody, and then guys, I will unmute you, or I asked to unmute you rather. And now I'm asking to unmute you.
Unmute, yes.
I did it.
Perfect.
Technology.
How are you guys doing?
We're
good.
good. We're good. I'm really excited to be here.
I'm super excited too. I swear, I feel like you guys are like old friends or something, because I don't even know how I found you. Probably on the HGTV site, but we've chit-chatted for years, and I have literally like never, up until you guys, I'd never seen guys that were crafting. And then when I kind of read your background and your story and everything, I was like, I want them to be my best friends. And, you know, I come to New York all the time, and I wanted to get together for drinks and different things, and just timing never seems to work out for it. And then we had the COVID stuff. So, you know, how are you guys doing with COVID? How's it going?
You know, we're doing well. Luckily, we have not been affected by it too much, but we live in New York, we live in Astoria, Queens, and I think it was a little scary at first, just because we were the first city to really deal with it, but it was also really comforting as well, just because I think the city handled it extremely well, and our neighborhood, just every neighborhood, really seemed to come together and really respect one another. So I think it's been really great.
And we've always kind of been homebodies. We like to stay home. We like to cuddle with our cat. So it didn't affect us that much as far as going out or kind of seeing people, because we kind of keep to ourselves, do our own thing.
Yeah. But I think that's also worn off a little bit. Now we're like,
we gotta get out. We gotta see people. We're rotting away in here.
But you know, a lot of New York has moved out. I'm sure you've heard things like that. Like a lot of our friends just moved this summer, and now we're kind of feeling, you know, we still have like an okay amount of friends here, but it's very weird, and we didn't get to really have that goodbye with a lot of them. So that was a little tough.
And it's continuing to be tough.
Yeah.
It's funny because my day job, I work with a couple networks out of New York, and I was on a conference call the other day and found out that she had relocated to Atlanta, where I'm at, and just because she was like, I'm just going to save some money, and thought, you know, I would do it. And her lease was up, so she didn't really know what was going on, and she just moved to Atlanta. So wow, that was kind of neat or different.
We're kind of itching to move as well, so we're always looking for ideas. Atlanta is on the list. But
it's full disclosure, Atlanta and Georgia are two different states.
I believe it.
We are not the same.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Amy shaking her head like she's shaking her whole body.
Oh yes.
That's amazing.
I just wanted to say also, although our like friends and other people are fleeing, I always try to remind myself, like, that's their journey, that's their life. Just because everybody's doing that doesn't mean we need to rush to do that. Even though it's been in our minds for a while, it's like, okay, we have to take a step back. You know, that is their journey. Our journey is different, you know.
Right. How long have you guys been in New York? Are you New Yorkers?
Yes. Well, I was born and raised on Long Island, about 45 miles from Manhattan. So my family is still out there, very close. But we've been in Astoria now in this apartment for about 8 years. But we've kind of been, we've been subletting. We were both actors originally, so we were kind of in this area. And I had a lot of friends here. So we've been in this apartment for about 8 years. But you kind of moved in 10 years ago.
Yeah, I moved here 10 years ago.
Nice. Okay, very cool.
And Andrew's originally from the Maryland area.
Yeah, right outside of
nice. Which part of Maryland again? I'm sorry, I cut you off.
just right outside of DC, Montgomery County.
Got it. That's cool.
Yeah.
So you two are a couple. I think you both are adorable. The way you guys met is pretty. It's a pretty cool story. So why don't you tell that?
Yeah, well, we're both actors. Andrew moved here from Maryland to be an actor, pursue his dream of acting. We both booked the national tour of Fiddler on the Roof. We did not know each other. We started rehearsals in September. We met on the first day of rehearsal, as you do. And we were on the tour for 2 years together. We traveled all over the country and all over Canada. And, our friendship, woo, Canada, hey! We might be there soon, honey.
Right?
We adore it.
November 3rd.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. But, so we traveled together. Yes.
I'm with you.
Please do. Everybody come. We traveled together for 2 years on the road. We became fast friends. And then our friendship kind of started to evolve into a relationship. And about the second year of tour is when we started kind of, committing to each other.
Nice. Now, when did you guys discover I like that, committing to each other?
Yeah, I think so.
When did you discover your mutual love of crafting and creating?
We found that out on the road. It was something we connected on pretty early on. Okay. I think before we started dating, we started to create like craft kits for the cast. Okay. You're spending a lot of time with these people for a full year. There's there's not many activities to do, so we would create craft nights, and then we made Valentine's one year for everybody, and we did Halloween goodie bags. So we found out pretty early on.
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool. Do you remember the very first crafts that you guys made together? Not together, I'm sorry. The very first things that you guys made that you just still love to this day. It's your absolute favorite thing.
Oh my gosh. It's so hard because as a maker, I feel like you love everything you do. It's hard. It's like they're your babies. So it's hard to choose one over the other. But we love to make stuff for Halloween and for Christmas.
Well, I'm going to interject because Dennis's mom was a crafter, and they would do these craft fairs together, and Dennis would help out as a child. And Dennis will sometimes tell me the stories of how he would collect the money, and also he made these bouncing spooks,
yes.
Which was basically I'm sure you could tell better, but a dowel with a piece of
like a styrofoam ball and then pipe cleaner. It was like a little spider that you bounce on a stick.
And I always thought that was really cute.
Yes. Is that what you meant? Crafting from a younger age?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I've had two of these already. So
well, cheers to that.
Yeah, cheers actually. Cheers, everybody. We're water drinkers. We're not going to shame them, but there are.
Oh, no, we love water.
Actually, we need to be drinking more water. That's be drinking more.
Well, I figured the ice is going to melt in the drink, so we're just going to
keep chugging. Yes.
So what does your family think of the whole just HGTV and crafting side and YouTube? What do they?
They don't get it.
They don't get it.
It's
no different than when you were an actor.
Literally, yes. They do not understand. They don't understand how we make money. They don't understand what we do with our lives. They're very supportive and great. But yeah, I don't know if they've caught on to the digital age of now. You know?
We're not really sure. We're not really sure how many videos they've actually seen of us, and when they watch it, I don't think they really understand what goes into it, which is fine. It's a concept that it's not just our parents; it's even our friends. They don't really understand what we do. Half the time, we don't really understand what we do, so we can't really blame them. But we're lucky to have come from two families that have been always very supportive of whatever journey we've decided to take for ourselves.
Nice. That's very cool. So you mentioned, I think that Dennis was creative as a child and would help his mom and stuff. So what about you, Andrew?
I was trying to remember a craft that I made, and I really couldn't think of one specifically, but I do remember my mom was really, she didn't grow up decorating for holidays, but they really pushed us to decorate. I'm a first generation American. My parents came from Cuba, so they wanted to really like instill this like American life on us. And they were very like, oh, we should decorate for Halloween. And I just remember taking this pride being young and like helping my mom out. And then it would grow into me like making a graveyard in the yard and like kind of taking it on. So that's kind of like what I was thinking about.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
really cool. You mentioned other people in your family are super creative in one way or another. I think all of us want to know about the progression from actor, creator, HGTV, and how that kind of happened. I can see people like nodding their heads and wanting to know. I mean, HGTV is kind of the mothership, you know, and it's certainly a very, very cool network to be a part of. Tell us about that experience.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's so odd because it was never anything we sought out. You know, we were pursuing acting and then kind of developed our little blog because we enjoyed doing it. And
we did it for years with, I mean, for not
just
for
for
really
fun.
just for ourselves.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and then I think though, kind of being actors, we always had this hustler mentality. You have to work to get the next gig. You always have to have something on your plate, something upcoming. So I think we've always had this drive to kind of keep on going no matter what opportunity presented itself.
Mm-hmm.
So the blog started just to keep in touch with people on the road that we met during Fiddler on the Roof. And then all of those people stopped watching and we noticed that other people were starting to watch. And we developed we kind of got on the Instagram train early before Instagram became this huge thing, right. Where we were able to grow. And actually we got recognized through our Instagram for HGTV. That's how it happened, through the power of social media.
Yeah.
Wow, very cool.
Yeah, it kind of felt like a fluke in a way. It just like it was.
And even still today, we're like, wait, is this it? Like, do we have a job? Are we working? Yeah. You know, like what is happening? You know,
that's another actor mentality.
That's right.
Yeah. I know all too well. I'm curious. Tell the audience members what's the difference between HGTV Handmade and HGTV. Obviously, they're still related.
Yeah. There's like, it's like a mothership. So it's all like, there's the mothership and then there's like different branches of each different part, you know? So like there's the HGTV network, HGTV digital. I think HGTV magazine is something completely different because we've been like, can we get a subscription?
Oh my gosh.
Years.
I'm like, can we get a free subscription? Like,
so we're like, oh, it must be something else,
yeah,
but kind of under the umbrella of it all, you know?
Sure.
Yeah, so HGTV Handmade is under like the digital platform. So we work for like the YouTube channel and we're hosts on their YouTube channel, and we'll also do stuff for Facebook and anything digital that they're looking for.
Nice, that's very cool. So Andrew, what is the first thing that you loved about Dennis?
Oh my gosh. I mean, what's not to love about Dennis? I think Dennis has a way of making friends with anybody just like in an instant, and I always was attracted to that. I thought that was just like one of the best qualities in a person, and I want to be like that. But sometimes I feel like more introverted, where Dennis is just like, he'll just go up to anybody and just start a conversation, and
And same question for you, Dennis.
I mean, there's same thing. There's so much to love about Andrew. I remember the first day that I met him, I was blown away by of all his height. I have a thing because I'm kind of short. I'm like 5'4" to 5'7". 5'4" to 5'7", I tell people.
And how tall are you, Andrew? How tall are you, Andrew?
I'm 6'3".
Okay, so we're at the tall club. I'm 6'6".
Yes, and I'm saying shorties, get a tall person because they are, I never have to reach up on a shelf, which is amazing. But it was Andrew's talent. He also had amazing shoes the first day I saw him. And Andrew is so creative. And he's so meticulous. Like a lot of the pictures, a lot of the staging that we share, it's all Andrew. It's all Andrew behind that. And I think that, what?
I said, oh.
Oh, okay. I was like, what'd you say? Uh, yes, but I think which is so great. We've been together almost 9 years now. 10 years ago was Fiddler, but I would say our relationship really started 9 years ago. And even still, there's new stuff we're learning about each other.
Yeah.
Of course, yes, we fight all the time, and I don't call it fighting, but bickering.
Yeah, I think something with Instagram
Yes, immediately is like, oh yes.
I think Instagram puts this, or just social media in general. People think that we have this like picture perfect relationship where I think we have a great relationship, but it's just like any other relationship. I think we're lucky to have found each other, and we both really love doing the same thing. So I think that helps. But I think some people think that, we have this like incredible relationship where I'm like, oh, we're actually just like two normal people who are lucky enough to, work in the same field.
Right. And that itself has to be kind of trying at times, because you're with each other rather all the time. And, then you're living together and then you're working together. And so it's gotta be.
Oh my gosh, don't remind us. Oh my gosh.
It's the best of times. It's the worst.
Road trip.
Yes.
That's funny. So have you guys ever been recognized out in public? Have you guys found you yet?
We have. It's I mean, we live in a very small community here in Queens, which is great. Where we know a lot of people. That's one of the things we love about Queens. So we'll get recognized in Queens like
we'll be like coming off the train. I mean, this is like years ago, or not years ago, but
we just haven't been on the train in so long.
Yeah, we haven't been on the train. But like we come off the train and somebody will be like, Crafty Lumberjacks, and the door like slams. And actually just recently we went to Disney World right before COVID hit in like February, first week of February. And we were on the plane to Orlando from New York, and this girl as we were landing in Orlando, she's like, "Do you guys live in Astoria?" And I was like, "Yeah, why?" And she like knew us through a friend on Instagram, and she was texting her friend and being like, "I'm sitting next to the Crafty Lumberjacks."
How funny!
Yeah, and then actually we also got recognized on the ride.
Thunder Mountain. Yeah,
we're like literally getting on the ride, and some girl's like, "I think I follow you," and we're like, "Oh my god, what?" We went nationwide, folks.
But it's like such a weird thing. I'm always like so uncomfortable about it.
I know, we don't know what to say, and it's like. But of course we're, like,
was I picking my teeth?
Yes, what were we doing?
Like, what was I doing?
Yes,
I don't know.
Yeah, we're riding the car, and someone sees you're like, what was I doing?
Right. And I think it's kind of funny that you were on Thunder Mountain, I'm assuming wearing your flannel, your ball caps, and mountainous in the trees and the whole backdrop of it. You dressed for the ride.
Yeah.
So, pulled out, had your axe on your shoulders. You were waiting in the VIP line. So have you taken a selfie with anybody?
Oh my gosh, a selfie.
Oh,
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't.
Not like
not like for that. Like if we'll do like
a fan selfie,
something like that.
Yeah, nothing like that. Or like and usually the one thing we like about all of this is getting to know people, getting to build relationships,
Yeah.
So usually if that leads to a picture or something, we end up following them, we end up chit-chatting with them.
Yep.
Shooting each other messages on DMs.
Yeah, that's so true, because that's how we met. I think I randomly sent you a message on my other Instagram, and I started seeing what you guys were doing, and I was like, well, they're gay and they're kind of hairy and they're they're crafty and they're creating, and why can't I do this? And I started doing some of your projects. I have your fountain out on my deck. That the terracotta pot with the tiles that were stacked that you did, and it's still one of those things that I keep out there all the time. I started doing projects and just kind of posting them on Facebook, and I would even share a few on that Instagram channel, and people kept saying, you should do a channel, you should do a channel, you should do a channel. And so I finally listened to whoever it was.
Yes, we're watching you. You've been growing. You've been nonstop. I
know
we see you, and keep it up. You're
those
doing
YouTube
awesome.
numbers are they're
impressive.
Great. Just because we have a YouTube channel, we don't focus too much on it. But I mean, I don't think everybody understands unless they really try to dabble in it. It's like how much hard it is and how much work it is.
Oh yes.
And then you'll put all this work into one video and you think like, oh my gosh, this is going to do so well. And then no one will look at it, and it can be really discouraging.
Happens all the time.
Oh, we know it. Yeah.
It's crazy. So I'm curious. Have you guys had any backlash being open about your sexuality and in the crafting world itself? And how do you deal with the haters?
Oof.
Yeah, I mean, of course we have haters. I think if you put yourself out there, you're going to get haters. I think if you're, you know, if you're gay, if you're any sort of minority, you're going to get haters. The way we deal about it is we just ignore it.
Yeah, we don't engage.
We just ignore it because I think what people are, they're just looking for a rise. It's really not about us at all. It just ends up being about them wanting to get like,
yeah, and I'm like, that's on you. If
like,
you have an issue with this craft or our life, that's on you, boo. Okay, that has nothing to do with us, you know. But we really try not to get engaged. But it's nice that we have each other to bitch about it, you know, to each other.
Sure.
Yes, because we can kind of, because we will talk about it. We want to write back. We are like this. I'm gonna let them know, you know. But then I'm like, no, yes, exactly. And also
get out the box cutter and just
or my wood burning tool. I always want to get my wood burning tool and be like, But I think it's like
put like a big L on their forehead.
Yes. Also now I feel like you have to be careful because I worry that something I do is going to catch up with me. You know, so we like to try to not engage, just kind of water off a duck's back and move on, you know.
But it's really interesting to see just that people really put that energy out there. We're just not the type of people who would ever write something negative. We'll get a lot of hate just with our craft specifically. Like they'll like, you know, they'll just like say something really nasty about like the craft, and I'm like, why did you put your energy into that? What made you put your we see things all the time that we're like, well, that's not really our style, or like I find that to be like ugly, you know, but I'm never going to say it out loud because why? Yes. Why would I do that?
We sometimes get a kick out of some of the comments though. And now actually HGTV, now they kind of delete a lot of like the hateful comments because they're just like, no room for this, no room for this. But something in me still wants to see them. You know, I'm like, I want to see them.
I think we ought to like do a thing where like we get other YouTubers to read our comments, like our negative comments, and like film that, you know, kind of like one of the late night shows does it or something.
Like a mean
like a Jimmy Kimmel. One of our favorite mean comments though was this woman got really mad at us for using the word lumberjacks. Mm-hmm. Like obviously we're not actual lumberjacks. We actually started the name.
You're not.
What? Because we both love flannel, and on Fiddler on the Roof, we grew out these long beards, and actually this man, Pat, called us once as we were walking to the theater, and he was like, lumberjacks. I think he was a little tipsy, but it just kind of stuck when we were making our name 8 years ago. Little did we know we'd still be with the name, but this woman was so angry that we would use the name lumberjacks, and the lumberjack community did not support this, and there are actual lumberjacks out there that are like enraged that we call ourselves lumberjacks.
Right.
And I'm like, that is the silliest comment.
They're enraged in their lumberjack camps in Alaska, surrounded by all men.
Yes.
I'm assuming that's what they're doing in Canada. I don't know.
Right. No, your comment about just kind of ignoring them is something that I've had to kind of struggle with. I did a Pride DIY set of videos, and I got some nasty comments from it, and I had some people unfollow me as well. And one of my mentors, who's kind of secretly on here tonight, she doesn't even know, I don't even think she knows I consider her a mentor, but she was like, ignore it, because people are going, she said, your followers are either going to jump on your bandwagon and they're going to, you know, destroy that person, or they'll just assume it's spam and just kind of move forward. And, you know, any kind of engagement is a engagement on YouTube. And, you know, hopefully YouTube is just referring all my videos to them, whether they follow because they're constantly engaging on my channel. So, any advice for newbies who are brand new? We actually have somebody on the call. Let me see if I can find her. Gretchen, I think it's you, because I just saw that big smile, and now she's turning off all the lights in her house.
Oh no, it's the camera is
the shadow of the camera.
Blame it on the camera.
Right.
But I think Gretchen like literally just started her channel.
Yes. Yeah.
And so what kind of advice do you have for people who are just starting out?
My gosh. I mean, I think it's make sure you're being true to yourself. Do what you want to do, what resonates with your truth. Yeah. And just keep at it. Keep at it. You know, you never know who's watching. You never know what it's going to lead to.
I also think.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and I was going to say, and if it's something you enjoy, who cares?
Yeah.
Who's paying attention? If you like it, go for it.
Yeah, definitely. Like, do things that you like, because there's going to be people out there that love it. And also, we've kind of talked about this together. Like, finding a niche, I think, is really important. That's something we have not really conquered yet. But I think, like, sometimes when you have something specific, like, it does really well. Like, I'm kind of thinking of, like, the Halloween community. Now, that's, like, something where I never would have thought, like, people who decorate for Halloween all year round. Now, that's something that would interest me 100%.
Yes.
I thought, like, that was something weird about myself. But there's a huge community out there, and there are people who just pinpoint on Halloween all year round, and they do super well. I think if you have, like, a specific niche, like, that can really be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I love that advice. I want to open this up for questions from the audience, but I do want to plug my sponsor for just a minute. I have been using these products called Slice, and it's from Slice Inc. And what's really cool about all their products is that their blades are actually ceramic. And so you can see here, I'm actually not cutting myself. And what's really cool about their products is, first of all, 1% of all their sales goes to autism research. And I think that's amazing. But also, like, they have this little handy cutter, and it's much like a box cutter, and it's got the retractable blade. Once again, the blade is ceramic, so it's not gonna, not cutting my hand. But what also is really cool about this particular one is it has a magnet built into it, so you can actually stick it to your pegboard. And then they have products that have lanyard holes and just all kinds of really cool things. So when I post the video, guys, I will be sharing my affiliate link, and you guys can save 10%. Everybody on the call, if you want to look at some of the Slice products.
Very cool. I love that.
That's awesome. It's definitely really cool.
We all need to collaborate and come up with something like that. Some type of invention for crafters where we can make millions.
Right.
Let's do it.
Like a software that edits videos for us.
Oh, please.
That, I think, is the most tedious part of this DIY life.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, you know, JB, we always say, like, all the time, it's like we spend like a fraction of the time actually crafting, and then the majority of time trying to edit it or trying to, you know, write out posts and stuff like that. It's a lot of work.
And I think, I know for me anyway, in Atlanta, we, as an actor here, we audition a lot on tape. And when you're sending the files in, you're doing a lot of editing and stuff yourself. So I was somewhat familiar with it, but good Lord, it's a whole new.
Oh my gosh. And then now, of course, it's like widescreen, this screen, smaller, this wider. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. My favorite are the zooms and like the sweeps that people do, and they do all these crazy like shots. And I'm like, got my early Parkinson's or something, and like I can't keep anything straight to save my life, literally. So like I'm just kind of like, all right, this is not going to work. I do have a chat question that came in. Somebody's shy, and they wanted to know what the casting process was like on HGTV, and they're like, who's the casting director? And I'm sure you can't give that info out, but tell us about the actual process of going through and HGTV contacting you.
Right. Well, again, it happened through Instagram. It happened through someone else that had worked for, I think, the DIY network, who kind of told our producer that, hey, you should check out these guys. So they slid into our DMs, and we got an email. I think we were away. Was this over the summer?
We were doing like Anything Goes.
Oh, okay, yes. We were in Rhode Island doing a production of Anything Goes. We got an email. Oh, I see a kitty. Sorry, I get distracted with animals.
Okay. We got 2 dogs and a kitty on the call tonight.
Yes, our cat
It's in a box.
Start calling Sophie. She's gonna go nuts in the background.
Aww.
Oh my God, Nadia, that cat is so cute. I'm sorry. Okay.
But we kind of didn't have to audition.
Thank you. Sorry, he was like going on top of the computer, so I had to grab him. Yes, Leo. Yes, I did.
Oh,
Leo.
Mess you up.
Yeah, he's a silver chinchilla.
Oh,
Oh
Sheila.
my gosh. Oh my gosh, she's beautiful.
Mad right now. No, you're not.
Oh my
He
gosh.
won't scratch me. He won't scratch me. Oh, look at that, another kitty.
Lee, that cat is so beautiful too.
So cute.
Cats and crafting.
Kitty.
They love to get.
That's a new channel. I feel like that's a channel in the making.
Should we do it? But so we went through a different process where we didn't have to audition or anything like that, but they did hire us on a trial basis, is what we were kind of told. So they came. We had to pitch 5 projects for Halloween and 5 projects for Christmas or the holidays. We also did a Hanukkah project that year. And these were just strictly hands and pans, what they call, which is hands and pans, which is like the tasty videos that you don't see a person. It's just your hands
just a top
making
down.
something. Yes. So they came to our apartment with a production team, the producer, I think an intern, and we set up 2 days, 3 days possibly, and we did an on-trial basis for these 5 videos for Halloween, 5 videos for Christmas, and then at the end of our 3-day shoot, the producer, Marianne Canada, buzz, buzz, buzz.
Everybody's like,
yes, she's so sweet. She's actually on the HGTV Handmade, and she actually developed the whole thing.
oh, nice.
But she was like, I think we should bring you guys on. And then that January, we got a contract, and now we're going into year 4.
Yeah, I would
Wow.
I would also kind of piggyback on that. Like, if you're interested in something like HGTV Handmade or another company,
Sure.
like, tag them in your stuff,
Mm.
reach out to them. You don't need to like badger them, but I think like
yes.
comment, tag them, just get on their radar a little bit. I know Handmade does like spotlights on creators and stuff like that. I think a lot of companies, they want to see other people doing DIYs, other people doing their DIYs. So I think that's always a good idea to do.
Yes, and I wanted to say too, piggybacking off of your
All right,
piggybacking,
piggyback.
was that we actually did that too. We are known stalkers. If we actually stalked Clinton Kelly on Twitter, yes, love
Not to
Clinton
wear.
Kelly.
TLC.
Yes,
of
from What Not
course.
to Wear, yes. And then they had the show, The Chew. We actually went to live tapings of The Chew, I think 3 times. We started
Like sitting in the front row.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're like, hi.
just because we really like the show, not
Yeah,
because
actually,
we were like,
we really enjoyed the show. But you know, and then actually, he was the one who noticed us because we were messaging, commenting, leaving comments, you know, tweeting him, twittering, whatever the kids say these days. And then they had a spot for The Chew for Thanksgiving, and he was like, "Hey, I know these guys. You know, do you guys do this?" And then we
and then we were
got on The Chew,
I think we
and
were on
then
3
that
times.
kind of was the launching pad for doing all of these morning shows. We've been on Live with Kelly Ryan, Rachel Ray, Good Morning America, and I think it was that just by us stalking Clinton Kelly.
Wow. Very
It's
cool.
possible.
So stalking is good.
Yes, stalk.
Good. Stalking is good. All right, guys, I am going to unmute and look, there's Megan. I'm going to unmute and I'm going to put everybody, or I'm going to let you guys unmute. Sorry. And if you guys have questions, please go for it. And if you don't, I've got more questions. So, Megan, hi. Just have to unmute yourself, boo. Your red hair is gorgeous.
It is
Yes,
gorgeous.
I love it.
This is Megan. She has a channel called Glue Guns and Roses.
Ooh.
And she has a bazillion followers. So,
Yes.
You're too sweet. Okay, can you hear me this time? Awesome. I'm getting it. Okay.
Oh.
uh-oh.
No, Jeff.
Oh.
Am I good?
Yep, for now.
Okay. Okay, awesome. First of all, totally feel you on the tall thing. My husband's tall. And when I'm mad, I tell him that the only thing I like about him right now is that he can reach the top shelf.
Yes.
I've been saying like when I'm mad because he's 6'5" and like I'm like, oh, I like nothing about you except
But get that.
you can reach the top shelf right now. Okay. So second, so funny. I found y'all through Instagram, and I only recently discovered that you have a YouTube channel. So are you not able, or is there, maybe you can't talk about it? I don't know. So if it's like, don't ask that, Jamie, you can edit this out, and then y'all can be like, okay. Are you allowed to use what is shown or what you do on HGTV Handmade on your own channel, or like, do you have to come up with totally different stuff? And I guess second question is, do you guys edit your own videos? Like all of it?
Yes, Handmade does something separate. That's like a production team. They edit it. I mean, now we're filming it on our own because of COVID, and then we send it to the editor to edit it all. But yeah, on our own personal channel, we have a love-hate relationship with YouTube because we were actually encouraged by the Handmade team to start our YouTube channel because we did not have a presence on YouTube. And they were like, you guys should really do that, you know? But again, we haven't really built up a huge community on YouTube. We're actually having trouble kind of breaking through, as people say, you know. So we struggle with how much energy we should be putting into YouTube. So we have a large community, or not a large community, but a great community on Instagram and a large community on TikTok. And those are kind of where we've been putting our energy into, just because there's so much work. We don't really know what to do. But now with like thinking about passable income and things like that, we're like, should we be putting our focus towards YouTube?
Sure.
Yeah, but the stuff we do specifically for Handmade is really just
Separate.
for Handmade. We can share pictures that we've taken or like the videos like on our own channels, but we don't do anything with our YouTube with handmade projects that we've done. But I just find YouTube a whole other beast that we just have not been able to really figure out, to be honest.
Nice.
Yeah. Isn't that funny though? I don't get Instagram. I don't get a lot of things, honest to God. But it is totally different. It's not like, it's like social media, but not. But yeah, I love both of you. Like I'm
Thank you.
going great on YouTube. I'm just saying, I'm shocked that y'all aren't like millions of subscribers is all I'm like, and I hope that's not offensive. I don't want to.
No,
Okay.
oh my gosh, no. Again, it's like also, it's not something that we've been, because again, it's like they say for YouTube, for success, you have to be consistent and you have to post like between this amount of time, this amount of length, you know, and it's like, I don't know. We're already stretched thin as it is. So we don't know what to do with our time, our energy, you know?
Yeah, it's like the editing alone just takes
oh my gosh,
so long.
yes, the
Jamie,
editing
as you were
is
saying,
like
it's just
rough.
it's tough.
Great
Thank
question.
you.
So, I think though it is a goal. We always talk about it. We're still talking about it, especially for like Halloween and Christmas, which are like huge, you know. But it's tough. It's tough because we're procrastinators. We will wait till the last day something is due to do it. You know.
He's lying. I'm the procrastinator. He's not as much, but
I like to
I'll drag
procrastinate.
my feet.
Christmas is a great time to jump on the YouTube bandwagon. I'm just throwing that out.
What is your username?
On YouTube or Instagram, what?
Everywhere.
Blue Guns and Roses.
Okay,
Gun-
Blue
oh my-
Guns and Roses. Yes.
JB, I missed when you said her YouTube name before. That's incredible.
I love that.
That name is just great. That's pretty genius.
Got you.
As an 80s child, that's beautiful.
Got you.
Megan was my first guest on the Crafty ChitChat show.
Oh my God, we're gonna have to go back. Love
I
it.
think she's been here for every episode since. So
Roll that footage.
Right. Lee, I think I saw your hand up, right?
Yeah.
For a question. We gotta just unmute you though. Oops. I think I muted you when you unmuted you. So try it one more time.
The Zoom thing. I still don't get it.
I do it like every day, 5 times a day, and still don't get it.
Hi, Lee.
Hi. So I'm actually Karina Jules on Instagram.
Okay.
Great.
You know me.
Yes.
How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
We're good.
Good.
We're good.
Queen's Planner Attic. I always invite you, but there's no more Michaels anyway. So anyway, my question is, I'm a super crafter. Do you see my shirt now?
Yes. That's our life.
That's what I like. But right now it's wine. It's wine now. Anyway, wine and coffee. So my question is, when I'm crafting for children, because I have a lot of nieces and great nieces and nephews, and I'm Aunt Lee Crafter, and they're missing it anyway. So anyway, I got a lot of my ideas from Pinterest. So I wanted to know you guys, if you do Pinterest, if you had any Pinterest fails at all.
Oh my gosh. You know, I think we have a lot of craft fails all the time. We, you know, unfortunately, we just don't document them. Sometimes I'm like, we should just really tell people how we failed, because I think that's very relatable. But we do have a Pinterest. We love Pinterest. Of course, we go on there to see what's trending, what people are looking for as well. I'm trying to think of a recent Pinterest fail.
We've never done like a Pinterest craft per se, but we had a hard time with working with cement. It was awful.
Just because we were in a small bedroom apartment, you know, so that was always, working with cement in a small place is always fun.
It was just
actually, this is horrible, but before we got our cat, we used to spray paint in our apartment.
Right.
And constantly we would open the windows and spray paint and then smell it for like days after. But then once we got our baby, we're like, we can't do that anymore. It didn't matter about our lungs. It really just mattered about our cat's lungs.
Because her lungs are so tiny.
Yes.
All right, who else? It looks like Starla, do you have your hand up, or are you just scratching your head? Oh, Maria. I will let you do it since Starla.
Thank you. It's nice to see you.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice to see you too. So great to see you in virtual person, I guess.
Love it.
So I have a question. I know you guys are not really in YouTube. I started a couple months ago, but so my main focus is like crafts using Dollar Tree items or woodworking or like thrift flips kind of thing, right? Like I love wood. Wood is just like turns me on. Like I love it. If I could just do it all the time, like I would. But then like Dollar Tree crafts are so fun and so changeable and cheap. But at the same time, my whole life, I've been making natural handmade products for beauty and stuff. And like I use essential oils. So I'm like thinking like anything to do with your hands, right? But then, so I did a couple videos of me doing like natural handmade products like for beauty, and then some lady just messaged me. She's like, I would have followed you, but I'm confused, like, are you doing crafts or are you doing beauty? So then I'm like, should I separate the two? Is that a better idea? Like, I just feel like they go hand in hand, because I want to offer people information. Like I have 4 kids, so I want to show people I don't have time. Like I want to do things fast. I want to make them pretty, and I want to save money because everything is changing and I need change. But I thought it would be good. But then I'm getting feedback like, are you a beauty channel or are you a craft channel? Like,
just say yep. And I'll let Andrew.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think having 2 channels sounds really complicated.
Right. I can't.
There might be one person saying, or a couple people saying like, no, what are you? But I'm sure there are other people who are just as interested as your crafts with your beauty.
Right.
No.
Yeah, I never understood these niches and things, because we're all such fully rounded humans. We all can do so much and also want to share so much of ourselves. And I think that is something that works for us. People are curious about a lot of things that we do, a lot of different things.
Yeah.
So I think, again, Maria, if it's something that seems true to you and you want to share it, go for it. This woman who's writing this thing. Okay, it's your channel. You can put whatever you want on it, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's tricky.
I don't know much about.
That's the thing, is like I introduce my channel like, oh, it's for you and your home, because I feel like when you're a crafter, you kind of do things all over the place. Even if the sink is broken, you're gonna try to find a way to fix it yourself. You're not gonna start calling phone numbers. So I feel like whoever's coming to any crafter's channel is gonna, you know, get some things that are unique somewhere else too. So I don't know. I just wanted to see what your opinion was. And
Yeah.
I think that's a great point. I think people will come to us and be like, "Oh, you're crafters. Can you design our room?" And it's like, "Well, we're not interior designers, but we could try."
Yeah.
You know, I think people expect, you know, there is a wide umbrella with crafting, from home hacks to beauty to, you know, so I think what you're doing is great. I think keep at it.
okay. Thank you.
Maria, what's the name of your channel?
Maria Kuna DIY.
All right.
So you're DIYing lotions, you're DIYing beauty products, you're DIYing crafts.
Yes.
You got it covered.
All of it.
Tell her to bounce.
I love that too.
Thank
Wait,
you.
I
Plus,
missed it. Maria what?
Maria Kuna DIY. Plus,
Oh,
if
Maria
you're a
Kuna.
crafter, your hands are on camera. You want to make sure that they're, you know,
Pretty.
absolutely. So I think they go hand in hand.
No pun intended. Thank you.
And you know, I'll speak to that too, because I'm kind of diversing a little bit with my channel, and my logo is Crafty DIY Guy, but under the logo it says crafts, DIY, thrift flips, and I've started because, you know, I like to dress and I'm a big and tall guy, and I've started to do some clothing like hauls, and I do some thrift like hauls, and I do some Michael's hauls and different things, and people will comment and say, I just wish you would stick to crafts. And I'm like, I just wish you would just watch those videos then.
Right, yes, yeah, don't watch it then.
You know, I don't understand. I do want to, Eileen, you're sitting there awful quiet.
Come
And
on.
I want to plug something that she does on her channel. And it's actually really cool. So Eileen has a craft channel called Crafty Leanie. And she does live crafting challenges where it's her against somebody else. And it's an hour long, and it's live on YouTube through some software program that I can't figure out yet. And she has a kind of a studio audience, kind of like this. And I am actually going to be a guest on her show coming up in November.
Yeah,
I'm super excited about. And then DIY with Nadia, who is on here, they're actually collaborating to kind of, I guess, reformulate the show. Or I'll let Eileen talk about it. So Eileen, I'm asking to unmute you now. So push the button.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Hi guys.
Hi, we're looking for your channel right now.
Yes, what did it say? Crafty.
It's Crafty with a K, and then Leeny.
Yes. I'm still fairly new at this YouTube, and I don't know. I just wanted it to do something that's fun with everybody, and I don't know. I'm like, I'm starstruck a little bit, guys.
Oh my gosh,
don't
please.
be.
I feel
Please,
like I have
no.
questions for you.
I know.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
But yeah, so what it is what we have 10 minutes like to grab all our items. It's mainly to invite other DIYers to my channel and get to know them, and our audience gets to know them, ask questions as we go along. Nadia, my beautiful co-host, she reads what everybody's saying for me, and she just keeps it going for, you know, the whole show. She's basically asking the questions, talking to everybody in the chat room as we're creating something, and we pick 4 items, so 2 items each. We're timed. We make it's just a lot of fun. It's so hard to explain until someone does it, and then when someone does it, it's just like, wow, this experience was crazy. I love it. And that's what's so fun about it. I just had to share it with everybody because it was just, I don't know, when I had experienced it, I was just like, you know what, this is great. This got to come out. This got to be shared. And I love that I get to meet other DIYers, and it's fun that they get to meet us. And it's just, I don't know, I just have a lot of fun with it.
That's so cool.
That's so cool and so important.
Yeah, I think coming with something like original that people don't see often is really smart. I think keep at that. I think also crafting quickly is a challenge for sure. Dennis will tell you I cannot craft quickly. I am the tortoise.
I would love for you guys to come on my show.
Yes, I love that. I was going to say, Eileen, also you hit the nail on the head by kind of collabing, reaching out to other DIYers, because the DIY community is strong. And I feel like we all want all of us to succeed. You know, we want to give our secrets. We want people to be able to live this life. And you're doing the right thing by reaching out, having different people come on. That is the thing.
Yeah, see, but that's what was most important to me, was reaching out to them, letting them come and have fun, and also lets the viewers see that, you know what, we're not just hands making something, that we're real people. We laugh, we have fun, and it's a good environment to interview. It's a good environment. And we do have the word of the night. Yeah, we have a word of the night where our guest picks a word, and when they say it, whether it's water, we tell everybody, whether it's water, tea, coffee, I call it happy juice, happy juice, whatever you might, have in what you want. Every time that word is said, we all take a sip.
Yes,
I love that.
Very Pee Wee Herman.
We have fun. Yes, fun.
Yes. The share was on like the Pee Wee Herman's Christmas special.
Yes, that's one of the
I forget the word, and it's like a Happy New Year, and every time they say year, they're like, ah.
You're like, ah.
Yes.
But Eileen, just keep at it. Keep at it.
I think that's really
Thank you.
Smart. I love that.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Who else has a question? Who else? Nadia. Go ahead.
Hi, guys. You guys, well, first of all, I love you guys. And we would love if you would come on Lenia's show. You're saying you have a small apartment. Like, guys, I know you're in New York. Where are you storing all of this?
Good question.
That is a good question. I would say almost 40% of the things we own are Halloween and Christmas. Just like we own so much stuff just for 3 months of the year. And we recently got a storage unit through a company called MakeSpace. They kind of like pick up your stuff and bring it back. But we just recently got a storage unit. But one of our closets is just dedicated to the holiday stuff that we just can't put in storage units, like stuff that really means stuff to us. Oh, and we also bring stuff to Dennis's mom's house.
Her basement.
But so and thankfully Dennis is extremely organized. I'm definitely like the Oscar, and he's the Felix from The Odd Couple.
That's so cute.
So
or I try to be. It's not working.
People like put things in places like under the couch is just filled with stuff. Yeah. We have stuff everywhere. Finding things is the issue. It's not like finding things where to put them. It's finding things after where it's like always the issue. Yes. But every nook and cranny is definitely taken up with space with stuff.
Yeah.
One of my followers who is usually on this call with us, she has a storage unit that she puts all of her Dollar Tree supplies in, and she logs everything on an Excel spreadsheet.
Wow.
And it's on her computer. And when she goes to her storage unit, she pulls her list, and she knows exactly what she's got, what shelf it's on, and how many she has. And when she makes something, she will literally subtract it from that spreadsheet. And I'm like, what, why?
Wow. Well, didn't she say it was temperature, certain temperature?
Temperature controlled storage units.
Wow, for Dollar Tree.
I never thought of that. Yeah. She has her own Dollar Tree store.
I mean, you know how Dollar Tree is. Guys, where do you get a lot of your supplies from for your DIYs? Are you Dollar Tree, or are you all over the place?
Oh yeah, we love the Dollar Tree.
We were actually just there today. We love Dollar Tree. We love Michael's. I think those were probably like the two
we
biggest.
used to like AC Moore.
Yeah, but they actually
just AC Moore. They just
sadly they closed.
Yeah,
I know, and we love that place.
Yeah,
Joanne. What else?
Amazon. But
yeah, kind of just everywhere.
Nice.
I used to do a lot of the 99-cents only store,
Mm-hmm.
but then I stopped. Yeah, because a lot of East Coast people don't have it, so I just kind of backed away a little from that.
Yeah, actually, because we're in Queens, we have a lot of like random mom and pop 99-cent stores that are just kind of, I don't even know if they're actually a 99-cent store. I don't know what happens there, but they have some kind of awesome things that we get. People be like, where did you get that skull? And it's kind of like a vintage skull from probably like 1978 that just happened to be at this dollar store in 2018 that we got. Like, where did you get that? And it's like, it's a 99-cent store in Queens.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to tell you.
It's somewhere over there. Eileen, I wish that we had 99-cent stores here in Atlanta. One time I was doing an appearance with the Top Chef and, or no, a Real Housewife. It was a Real Housewife of New Jersey. And we were in, where were we? Denver, maybe? It was somewhere Midwest. And we both went in on the same flight. And I'm like, hey, do you mind if we make a little pit stop? And she's like, where do you want to go? And I'm like, the 99-cent store. And she's like, are you kidding me? And I'm like, no, let's go to the 99-cent store. She had never been to a store like that in her life and thought it was the best freaking thing in the world until she started getting bombarded with people, and then we had to leave.
I love the 99-cent.
She went to the car. I stayed and shopped, and then I met her in the car later. But yeah, I wish, and I'm not going to say who, so somebody keeps sending me who in the chat. Not saying who. Not saying who.
I'm
All
a
right,
big
guys,
Housewives fan.
who else has a question for Dennis or Andrew?
I also want to say, just if you're all creators, a lot of our journey has been like starting with, we want free stuff to now we want to get paid for stuff, you know? And I want to say, like, if you are on that journey too, don't be shy to reach out to people. Don't be shy to reach out to brands that you have your eye on them. But I do think it's important to be specific about what you want. If there's a brand that you're dying to work for, you know, reach out to them and say, hey, I want this product for this reason. Because a lot of these businesses are now kind of, they're overwhelmed, bombarded with people like, hey, I want to collab, I want to work together. But if you're specific and you know what you want and what you're going to do with it, it will open doors for you.
Yeah, because they don't want to go through like the email back and forth. But if you're like, oh, I have this project in mind, most likely they might be interested
and be like, oh yeah, that's great. Because a lot of our journey was we want free stuff to now we want to get paid. But when we were looking for free stuff and things like that, we hounded people. We were on their tail being like, we want to do this. And then kind of later on, we realized, oh, we should have been more specific. We should have been more specific rather than saying, we want to work together. You know, so if you can, and if you're thinking about that, be specific about what you want and what you're going to do with it.
So question about that. When you do get to that point and you're maybe, because I mean, I'm asking for myself selfishly also, because I'm at the point where I was getting lots of free stuff. Yeah. And now I'm kind of like, you know, I'm a little over 11,000 on Instagram and like 16,000, I think, on YouTube. And I'm like, I don't want to, and I've been doing it a year, and I don't want to necessarily get a bunch of free stuff anymore. And I'd like to make a little money. And I had somebody reach out to me and ask me what my social media rates were. And I was like, I don't know.
Money.
Make me an offer, you know? Yes. And I replied back to her and I said, I'll be honest with you. I'm very new at this. And I don't even know what to, you know, what to consider my rates would be or anything like that. And I'd love to work with you. And how about you make me an offer? Tell me how many videos you want me to do, how many posts you want to do, and tell me what the offer is. And I'll look at how many hours it's going to take me to do all those items, and then just kind of figure out whether it works for me or not. And unfortunately, they never got back to me. But maybe, you know, maybe something else happened and she just got busy. But how did you kind of get to that point where you were establishing what that kind of threshold would be?
You know, we still don't really know what that threshold is for us because we put a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of effort into a lot of the work we do. And we are not paid accordingly, but we kind of get that. We kind of get that. Again, it's going with that actor mentality that sometimes that's going to happen. So, but I think it comes down to what you want. what you want to do, what you're willing to do for free, what you're willing to do if it means building a relationship with these companies. We worked for Plaid Crafts first. Oh yes, Eileen, you know them?
Yeah.
So first, I mean, now it's like shady now this year, but it was first free product. It was a building a relationship, tag us, that kind of stuff. And then we got on last year, they did like a influencer something group community that we were a part of, and we were getting paid per project, per gig. We got to do 6 projects for the year, and we were compensated this amount of money just by doing a blog post, you know. But of course, they want us to push them, you know, on our social media channels. Sure. But I lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry.
I was gonna say, like, just because I think there is this big feeling that you need to have a huge following to make money.
No.
But you know, the algorithm is so crazy that like we aren't getting the actual likes that we used to when we had a smaller following 5 years ago. We actually get less likes now than we did before. I don't know why, but that's what it is. If you have a small following and you're getting a good amount of likes, I think that's a great way to, like, that's a great pushing point to put, like, say to companies, be very blunt with companies. Say, hey, I get an average of like 600 likes on my post or whatever that is. I would like to do this and see where there is. Jamie, I really think it would be great if companies would come at you and just say like, hey, I'd like to pay you $300 for this or whatever amount. But a lot of times they don't. And it's this back and forth, like, am I asking for too much? Am I asking for too little? You know, so I think it comes down to almost like nobody really knows what's going on. It's almost like it's almost like this COVID thing with the schools opening. I'm like, wait, I guess nobody just knows what's happening right now. So we're all just kind of pretending.
Yeah.
So,
but there are like platforms, or there's something called Blue Book, Social Blue Book. I think where you can kind of put in your numbers, and they'll give you like an estimated rate idea. There's also we're not on these things anymore, but there's influencer, because kind of like when you're on a smaller scale, it's called micro influencer.
Yeah.
You know, and
which is really big right now.
Companies seek that out. They would rather do that than work with someone that has this mass amount of following. Right. But so it's called micro influencers, and there are certain influencer marketing hubs that you can sign up for, and they'll pair you from a company to your brand, and kind of either give you an estimated rate or give you an idea of how much you should be making. So ones that we use were called Popular Pays.
Yeah,
I don't know if there are requirements for these, if you need 10,000 followers or whatever it is, but one is Popular Pays, which is one that we've used in the past. We did a gig with Rick Dye.
Yep.
Buzz, buzz, buzz. We did Verathane, which is a
yeah, you know, favorite.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. We've gotten a few gigs through that, but that's Popular Pays that you can sign up for. A Squire.
I don't know how to spell that. I think it's called the Squire with an A and a Q, I think.
But they have these things that you can sign up for. Again, I really don't know what you're
I don't know what the requirements are,
but it's worth looking into. Popular
for
Pays.
Sure.
Aspire.
Oh, Aspire.
Aspire.
Oh, there's no Q?
Influencer. No, I think there's a Q.
Oh.
Google it.
yeah, I guess you could Google it. But
oh yes, aspiriq.com. And probably if you Google like influencer marketing, whatever, you can find a lot of these things where you can kind of put in your numbers. I have a YouTube, I have an Instagram, I have a TikTok, I have blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And they will pair you up with certain brands that you're fit for. And also sometimes give you an estimated rate of, you know, this company is looking for an IG post, a blog post, and in this post, and they'll pay you $200, you know, or whatever it might be.
But also don't be afraid to say like, I think I'm worth a little bit more.
Oh yes, we will always ask for more money, and then they'll tell us no.
They'll always lowball you, because I mean,
yeah, sure, yes, of course.
If you're going to spend 10 hours working on one project or however long, like it needs to be worth the amount of time, you know.
And also, we know the creative process is so different. It's not like we're just doing this. It's like you're brainstorming. You're thinking about these projects. You're doing this research. Yeah. You're going out and seeking out these materials, this thing from the Dollar Tree, from Michael's, this paint, this glue. You know, it's so much bigger than what these companies think. But unfortunately, that's just the way it is, you know?
Nice. I see lots of people writing like pencils in hand, and I even have mine in hand. It looks like Nadia, do you have a question?
I do. It's in the same line as what you guys are talking about. So on my other channel, I actually get companies that contact me and paying companies because it's beauty stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And my question is like, I feel like, do I need to get a lawyer at some point?
Oh, you're scaring me now.
Well, no, because it's contracts, and I'm like, is it like, how serious is it if, you know, like, I don't know. I'm being real. I mean,
Yeah. I don't know if you need a lawyer.
But at the same time, it's like, it is tricky because these contracts are very wordy.
exactly.
And you know, we were actually just
like actor contracts.
Yes.
And end up signing yourself away to
literally your
I
soul.
know, they're like,
away.
you own nothing. You're like, okay.
Nadia, we were just looking at a contract that it was something that we were doing for products specifically, and in small print it said like, we can take what you make and
Capitalize off of it.
And create it as a product and capitalize it.
Oh yes, they can take what we're making for this thing. We're getting paid $250 or something, let's say, and that they can take our craft and market it, like build it, and then sell it at Michael's and make a profit, and we get nothing. And we were like, wait a second.
And we were like, oh my God.
And they were like, but $200.
Like, what's the likelihood of that happening?
No, we didn't.
But
I know.
You know, unfortunately, we don't have a lawyer in the family, which they always say you need like a doctor, a lawyer, a mechanic, but we don't. But
I'm trying to marry one.
Yes, Jamie, don't marry a crafter. We'll both say do not marry a crafter. It
or
really
we can
isn't.
do a foursome. We're happy to do that.
Yes, if you find a lawyer, we'll buddy up. We'll do a system over here.
Mine, unfortunately, is going to be a restaurant manager, I think. But
I love to eat. That's perfect. I love that.
Yeah, we're trying to get him to move to Georgia.
Yeah, I think DIY with Nadia. I think you're a smart woman. You know, if something is a red flag in your mind, it's probably a red flag in life. You know, it's like, trust your gut. If something doesn't feel right, don't sign. You know, there are other opportunities out there for you.
Oh, plenty.
Yes.
Yeah,
So it's like,
absolutely.
if something doesn't feel right, don't do it, because there's so much more that will come your way, you know?
Yeah. And they're long contracts. It's not like, it's like literally you sit down, you just with your cup of coffee and you read.
Right.
Like, do you know who I am? I'm a crafter. I don't know how to read all that mumbo jumbo. Come on.
Give it to me in glue gun talk.
Yes.
Thanks, guys.
Of course.
Hey, Jamie, can I say something really fast?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just about like the contracts and like, I don't know. I don't think anyone needs a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. What would they say? Consult your lawyer, whatever, you know, like don't take legal advice from me. My dad is a lawyer. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So I do have.
There's our foursome.
But he's corporate law. So if you need a divorce, contact somebody else. If you want him to find out if they're breaking laws in the workforce, you know, maybe he's the guy to hit up. But okay. So I think like a lot of times, like things like, you know, the fine print really gets you. Like you don't get on YouTube, especially, you know, you don't get paid if you don't get X amount of clicks, or the pay can go from, let's say, $5,000 to now. If you don't get X amount of clicks, you don't get the 5,000. You may only get like 300 or 200 or 100. I mean, just big number jumps, and you hear about stuff like that on YouTube all the time. So I don't know if you need a lawyer, but definitely somebody who's maybe familiar with contract terminology and stuff like that. It just, I don't know, it hurts my heart to see like people get, you know, messed over like that. So
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
smart.
Sorry.
That is good to think about, for sure.
I think that's why people get managers literally sometimes.
Yeah. See, we because we're like, you know, actors first, we're kind of like, we don't want to spend money to make money type of thing. But I think that is smart. I think you hit the nail on the head, because there is that fine print. But you know, you have to be willing to sit there, look through it all, and kind of, if you're being screwed over, not good. You know?
I also think for like managers and agents, because people ask us all the time, like, do you have a manager or an agent? I don't know if there are that many managers and agents that know this profession that has kind of blossomed in the past 4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
you know,
it's still new,
it's
and
a
people are still
completely
figuring
different
it out.
idea. Yeah.
But yes,
if you know of any, we would love to know. But we've talked to a couple before, and they don't understand like what we do in a sense.
Yeah, which is a shame because we also our accountant. We have an accountant now. He has no freaking clue what we do.
Oh my gosh.
And we're literally buying things at Michael's or doing this, and he's like, "Well, no, that's not for your business." And we're like, "Yes, we're making crafts for our business. Every Michael's charge should be a thing, you know, like, yes, what are you talking about?" But he has no idea what he's doing.
I have a really good accountant that's here in Georgia, and she does clients from all over. If you need a referral,
yes, please.
All right.
But I love this. I love this beyond just the Chit Chat show. This is so great to have a community where we talk, where we share our secrets, where we share our knowledge, because I think that's so important. I don't think a lot of people are transparent about their business and how we're kind of navigating through this crazy digital age. And I think it's important that we're transparent with each other so that we know, so that you say, it is important to have a lawyer because I lost $5,000, you know, and that's not okay.
Enough clicks. Yeah. And
you know,
also, Jamie, I think it's like great that you have this community that's just, I just like feel like excited being here. And I think that's hard. I think you can have as many followers as you want on Instagram, on YouTube, and they might not matter. If you have a small or any group that is just excited, that is
and wants to lift each other up and build, you know, like it's important.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are on here that have constantly been on here since the first show.
Love that.
And it's because of, you know, I would say our average audience is like 12 to 20. And, you know, the people that are here because they want to be here and they want to share information. And, you know, I call Megan, and she hates when I call her this, but she's a YouTube celebrity.
Yeah,
she's on here every week, even if she's just hiding in the background, and it means so much to all of us, you know. And it's such a cool space to be able to do this. And I thought I'd like to talk, and I have this acting background, and you know, I was fortunate and had a lot of great people very early on, Megan being one of them, that reached out and you know, offered advice and tips and tricks and called me out one time on her channel. And, you know, those things make a difference. And that's something that we can do for everybody. And there's no reason why we shouldn't be doing that kind of stuff.
Call you out for? I didn't call you out for anything.
You called me out in a good way, like in a good way.
Got wrong. I got wrong. Never mind.
The night's still young,
I
though.
shouted you out. Okay. Never mind.
Yeah, she shouted me out.
Sorry,
if you guys follow any of my videos, you know I can
Sorry.
never talk. Words never come out sometimes the way that they're supposed to. So, but guys, we've been on an hour and 20 minutes, and I cannot thank you all enough so much. It has been absolutely incredible. As I said from the very beginning, you guys have been early influencers for me. You were the first guys that I saw that were doing crafts. And then when I figured out that you guys were also gay, I was like, wow, this is cool. And then I was like, well, maybe I could start trying some of this stuff. Maybe I could. And your friendship, I feel like we're friends, even though we've never met in person. We will get to New York again, and we will do the drinks because my company can pay for them.
Love that.
All right, guys. Does anybody else have any parting words before we let the Crafty Lumberjacks go? Oh, everybody's sad. They don't want to leave.
I know. I'm like, is this it? Is this it? I
like,
feel weird.
Are we gonna have to now like talk to each other?
I know.
Like I'm not ready for that.
Now I'm gonna go and edit a video probably until 2 in the morning. So
we're gonna send.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, everybody. This was so much. This was really so much fun. This was so great. Yeah, please like send us like your Instagram, your YouTube info, just so we can like follow back.
Yes.
Please. This was really great. Thank you, Jamie, for having us. This
yeah,
was
thank
so
you.
much
Guys.
fun.
Thank you, Jamie.
Of course.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, guys. And
Bye,
I hope you come on our show.
Yes.
We would love to.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye.